everybody. How are you doing? Getting all the codes putting in there. So, making sure that the bus is properly fueled up and heading in the right direction. So, favor to everyone, Bosto, and full restoration in all areas. And happy birthday if you got one. So, this is Wednesday, and Wednesday I kind of leave kind of open, just kind of listen to the flow of how the spirit is guiding, and it's quite natural, I think, that what we need the universe will provide. And having said that, I am joined with one of the Soul Tribe members, and many of you have seen her. She's a moderator in the group. Miss Sarah Horton, how are you doing?
Hi, everybody. Peace out. I love you.
See, I love it. This is, I don't know that. Sarah, is this your first time being on a channel within the Soul Tribe group, I guess?
Yes, it is.
Ah, well,
One Saturday
welcome.
night with Robert, but I had a washer flood, so I couldn't get on there in time. So
And
yeah,
today you have 2 feet of snow, which you're now snowed in.
I'm snowed in with you. Yippee doo.
The universe is kind. That's all I can say. So it's so good to see you. Let me just say hello to all the moderators. Everybody is in the house. And I mean, it is a full house. So isn't this exciting having Sarah on? I'm looking at the chat room. It's going by. It's pretty groovy. Sarah, you and I have exchanged emails, and we have spoken in, I think so often in these emails, you get to learn the other person's energy by how they use their words, how the choice of words are. And I found yours always to be of such a serenity. There's a certain peacefulness. So it's awfully good to see you.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. Just
I-
calling them like I see them.
you
uh,
got
Well, you're awfully sweet, and you have many talents, as so many in this group does. This group is, if we were back in mystical England at the time of dragons and King Arthur, we would be called the village of the wizards and the witches, because within our village there is more pagan and occultic knowledge. The gnosis is off the scale, and you bring a certain gnosis where healing is concerned. Is that correct?
Yes, I love to heal. That's my duty on earth.
Well, tell
Mm-hmm.
us a little bit about yourself and what your mission is, because we all have one. Mine is this, it took me only, I don't know how many decades to get here, but when you do arrive and you're fulfilling what you were meant to do, as you know, there's a certain certainty within. So, who is Sarah Horton?
I'm a ninja warrior starseed, Wayne,
I
and I
love
came
that.
here to heal. So, my education is a light worker, a wellness counselor, and also a Tai Chi master. I'm a black belt in Tai Chi. I've trained and competed, so I learned a lot about Chi energy and the importance of movement and energy moves to heal your body. And because your body is, take your chakras as like a hose from your brain down to the bottom of your feet. And if that hose gets kinked, you lose your flow because our body is water. We have to flow. If we stop flowing and our chakras get kinked, that leads to disease because the blood and oxygen can't flow through your body. Like I said, it's like a kinked hose. And so my specialty is to bring you into a mindfulness to know what your problem is so you can heal it. And you cannot heal yourself until you love yourself and can forgive yourself for everything you've done to yourself and other people. And to have inner peace, you have to accept yourself for who you are. And it's okay if we've done hurt or harm because life is a learning experience. And so we learn through our experiences, whether they're good or bad. And so we have to keep learning and learning over and over until we get it. And life will, bring you those battles to get through them so you can heal. So, like I was saying, our when you go to the hospital, the first thing they do is give you oxygen. And because we have to breathe to be alive, to be able to have the right energy flow through our body. And a lot of people breathe too shallow through their chest, and they should be breathing through their bellies, because that'll open up their engine. Because your center, your sacral, your second chakra is your engine. And if that engine gets like a car engine and doesn't have the right enough oil or water, what's going to happen? It's going to break down. So I try to train people like we're like a car or we're like a tree. And the tree, our root chakra, if our root chakra isn't balanced, it messes up our whole system. So it starts with the root, our base, and it has to come all the way through to the top of our head to be clear so we can have mindfulness. So those energy fields get blocked. So what I do is I teach to live in harmony. So if you're in source frequency with your mindfulness and you're living in harmony in mind, body, and spirit balance, you'll be with source, because source frequency is where everything exists. So that's what I try to help people heal, to get them into their mindfulness, to know what their problem is. And then I work with the chakra systems to open up those chakras and get in the mindfulness together. And that is a self-healing. And the first thing to self-healing is love and forgiveness.
Which is so often one of the biggest challenges. And if I'm right, Tai Chi, and you were a black belt in that, Tai Chi is the art of using energy in a flow and repulsing opposing energy. Isn't that primarily the foundation of Tai Chi?
Yes, that is. You're giving your body like a big oxygen tank and reviving it with energy and oxygen, and that heals you. Just like what I was saying, you go to the hospital, they put you on oxygen to relax you and heal you. We have to drink water to keep our bodies vibrant and alive. And if we don't have oxygen and water, because our body is water and we need oxygen, we have disease, we get disease. And if we breathe shallow all the time, we're raising our blood pressure and making our system overwork and overload. So we have to stay relaxed.
So let me, because I am a person, how I approach things is that I thoroughly question every aspect. There's so many different philosophies, so many different approaches. And one of the things that I find is that so often it's the very simple things that trip up most people. And we so often, and not in this case, but I'm just saying in generality, people are so cavalier about the words forgiveness.
Right.
And if you can't forgive yourself, if you can't forgive your others, well, and what was your other second principle? Forgiveness, and what was the second one?
Forgiveness and acceptance.
Okay, so acceptance for me is, because you see, here's what I see the challenge that I have seen, Sarah. I mean, you and I are talking, you did not come from any type of religious household that, there was a certain doctrine, dogma. I really didn't myself. It was really a self journey for myself that I got involved the way I did. So what I have found is that forgiveness actually has a sister with it. And that sister is forgetting, forgetfulness. Right. Because you've heard the axiom, well, I can forgive you, but I'll never forget.
Right. And we have to have self-love too.
And isn't that interesting? Because one of the things that I've struggled with is, well, what is love? I mean, we use it in the English nomenclature so broadly. I love ice cream. I love my dog. I love my wife. You know, people are going to, oh, really? The same sentence? You know, so, but
It's a full emotion. It's a feeling. It's a sense.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, and so loving oneself, our society actually teaches against that.
Right. They
You know,
teach fear, they teach shame, guilt,
yeah.
all. Yep.
And you said, you know, when I heard it in my head and I began to listen to it, brings on disease.
Right.
Disease, its root word is nothing more than divided peace.
That's right. Yep.
So if there's divided peace within a person, and let me, there are many houses within us. And if you have a house that is unease, divided from peace, that's where, particularly how I see it on a cellular level, that's where the disease comes in, and it'll
That's
find its weakest point within the chakra system.
yep. In our
Am
disease,
I right or wrong on that? I'm just, you know,
you're on the right track. Our disease comes through our thoughts. If our thoughts create our reality. So if we have a thought that, oh, my mom had breast cancer, I'm going to get breast cancer. Well, that thought will give you the cancer, not because your mom had it, or none of our our history of our family can affect us if we have the right thoughts in the body that's clear of negative energies in our mind, body, and spirit. It can't just work in the body. We have to start with the mind. We have to clear the mind so the body can heal. And then we have to use our senses and stay out of our mind. Stay out of your mind when you're processing life. Use your center, use your second and fourth chakra, your heart and your emotional center. Because up here can mess you up. And so my specialty is to bring your awareness to what your problem is inside your body so you can heal it and be aware of it, so you can maybe take supplements to help that part of your body, or you can do an exercise to get your energy flowing, or you can, you know, listen to different music that inspires you. So it's all about self inspiration. You know, you gotta stay inspired. You gotta stay positive, and you can't follow anybody else or be like anybody else, but to be your own and own your own self and your own feelings. And a lot of people some people drink to cope, some people, you know, take pills, but if they face their fear and get to know themselves and their problem, they can heal, because one cannot love someone else without self-love. So my biggest, when I counsel people, I get down to the root of their problem so they can heal themselves and create better relationships with
so how do
everyone.
you do that? Because, you know, again, I question this because I know people. And outside this group, this would be considered fringe. I mean, people will tell you that they don't need to get into themselves any more than what they are right now. And when we talk about getting into root causes, people spend tens of thousands of dollars for psychoanalysts, doctor bills, and everything else, because quite frankly, I don't think most people know how to get to the root of
Right.
anything, much less themselves.
That takes mindfulness. And a lot in Western society is not trained in mindfulness. The Eastern philosophy, they're trained more in mindfulness, which it's a practice. It's not something you can just know, it's a
Is there a
practice.
difference between thoughtfulness and mindfulness?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
How would you then describe the difference in the two?
Mindfulness is being aware. Okay. Mindfulness is being aware. It's like you know the diagnosis so you can treat it, where thoughts, is that what the other one was?
Mm-hmm. Thoughtfulness and mindfulness.
Thoughts can be something you read, something you hear, something somebody told you, and you create that mentality of someone else's words, where mindfulness comes within. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see it as more as concentration, focus, that,
Yes.
you know, if you're going to create a thought form, and it's exactly that, a thought, I can take a thought, I can literally manifest that thought into physicality. But that's taken years and years of practice.
Right. Yep.
And most people, and you know, this goes back all the way to Hermetics. It goes back, you know, I'm thinking of the Golden Dawn right now in Franz's book, that the most difficult thing that I see for people is that they cannot capture a thought in the context of making it the center of that thought until that thought actually becomes manifested.
Right.
And I like how your approach with disease. Now, I think there are other incidences like myself. I used to do a lot of hiking along the Appalachian Trail and got bit by actually not one but 4 ticks, and which they injected me with a good dose of Lyme disease.
You're so sweet.
Yeah, let me tell you what, you know, and then the meningitis set in. But it's interesting because you know, when I came out of the coma, I had weeks and weeks and weeks of isolation. I mean, I had a lot of time to think. And as I look back on it, I could say that that point in my life was of such, the rhythm had been broken, and there was unbalance, there was chaos. And as a result, I agree that it weakened my natural immune system.
Well, what it did when you get stung, so our body has 7 layers of energy fields around it. So if your body gets hurt, progged, stung, that affects your energy.
Yeah.
It triggered it. It definitely triggered that. Yep.
Tina says, it did tick me off. Yes, it did. Thank you, Tina. I mean, Nina, she has a live show after this, by the way. Shameless plug. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, I agree with you. You know, I know when I leave this cycle of life, that will be one of those defining points in my life, because things changed, and it took a while, but I can tell you because the only way for me to have recovered on that, if I hadn't done that deep dive.
Sometimes stuff like that happens to us, Wayne, because it's like a time out to heal. It gives us a time out in life. Like sometimes if people get sick or get cancer, that is their wake-up call, and it triggers a time period where they might need that to change something about their life, themselves, their body, their mind, their spirit. Just like all this COVID lockdown, hopefully it's doing some people good to get into their mindfulness.
It's an excellent time to get inside. I mean, it really is.
To go in. Too many people work through their outwardness instead of their inwardness, and that's my specialty, is to teach how to be inward and use your senses. Stay out of your mind. Use that for your balance, your checkbook, find your keys. But when you want to feel or really dive into something, use your senses, because your senses, our animal instincts, are going to be more correct for direction. We were embedded with those instincts to just know, to just have the knowing. We use our senses.
That's kind of like, I look at that as intuition. And
yes. And if we're blocked here in our 6th right here, you will have no insight. And you definitely have, you are open open. Baby, you are open.
My
Yep.
wife sometimes goes, I'm concerned at times, but yeah, I am open. Thank you. It's
And
uh
it's really easy to open our chakras, and you just tap, 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 just tap yourself, especially here. This is your thymus. What happens if you die and you have a heart attack? What do? They beat on you, don't they?
just to get
Boom.
the yeah.
So every day, if you just tap, start here, tap, and just get all your circulation and your cellular energy going, and just tap all the way down, tap your kidneys. I take my fists like this and I hit my kidneys and I tap all the way down my legs and up. And if you tap right here, this will actually de-age your skin, help your skin if you tap right there. So I can do.
Is it on one hand or the other hand? Is it both hands?
Either one.
Either one. So you kind of tap right there and that will. All right, folks, do you see that?
Yeah.
Hello, Ellen. How you doing? A lot of people are saying hello to you, Sarah.
And just for everybody, just a quick little self-heal. If you put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly and shut your eyes every day and say, I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you. And say that over and over and over, because it's not about forgiving other people. You got to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, love yourself, be sorry for yourself. Heck with the rest. Clear yourself up and you will be good to go. Clear your field. And we can do a whole show one night in our pajamas. We can all get together and I'll do a Qigong energy healing session, and we can have
and what is that specifically for those who A,
it,
don't know, and B, would be interested once they do know?
right. Well, once they do it, they'll be hooked.
Excellent.
Yes, because it's all about learning how to breathe and relax the body and use breathing techniques, just like getting oxygen, to relax. Like if someone called me up and they're stressed out, having panic attack, and all you have to do is take a deep breath and you'll be good to go. Good to go. Yep. And doing this, self-love, hand on your heart, hand on right below your belly. And if everybody just does that now and shuts their eyes and says, I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, it'll be like the best self-hug ever. It's like self-love, love yourself. Yeah.
So you got to hug the bear. Yeah.
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 I got a Angora bunny to hug. So.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. A live one?
Yep. Just want to show her? Want me to see?
Well, sure. I love animals.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I think it's very cool. How is everyone doing? Yes, Sarah is very pretty, isn't she? She's got a beautiful energy. Hey, Amber Dawn, how you doing? And David Barry, good to see you. And Jenny, hello, good to see you. Nina the Mystic. Oh, now look at that.
Knows Amber. She loved Amber. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You and Amber met.
Yep. So
yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness.
I call her Wolfie. Yeah. So
that is adorable.
Yeah. She's my baby.
I can see that. She is so relaxed too, Sarah, because rabbits can sometimes be very jittery.
Yeah, I know. She's like my service animal. She's just she's a snuggle bunny.
Look at that. All right, folks. That's just you just want to give him a hug and oh man.
Yeah.
Wolfie, huh?
Wolfie. Yeah. Well, there was a whole litter and she was the only one that had wolf eyes. So a shaman said that she's a carnated wolf and that she's been in one of my other lifetimes as my wolf dog. And
Look
so
at this.
we found each other.
Look at those eyes. She is beautiful. Yeah. Hello, Wolfie. Hello, look at that. Now,
Ashley,
folks, that is therapy right there. This is therapy. Look
her,
at that.
her ears fall down. Yeah. She's actually a 4-H show bunny. I've been in 4-H with Angora rabbits through my life. Yeah.
She is beautiful. Are they very hard to keep?
No, they box train and everything. You can have them as you're in your house. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I have like a little pen, a little play pen for her, and she just stays in there. But I had house bunnies before that just wander around the house like a dog or a cat, and they box train. Yeah. Yep.
I'm going to have to show Lynn that. Is that not just beautiful, folks? Doesn't that just invoke a, like, all right, I want to. Thank you for sharing, Wolfie. Oh, you're just so beautiful. Look at
Hi,
that.
Robert B.
She's
Hi,
got.
Robert.
That is just beautiful.
Yeah, animals are very healing. They're
They
very
are, aren't they? Yeah.
earth
Yeah.
animal person. I don't like domestic animals. I like, all the farm animals. If I could
Hmm.
if I could be Dr. Doolittle, I'd be happy. I'd
By the
have
way, growing up, that was one of my favorite books. I always enjoyed reading, you know.
bees and chickens, and I just could live on a farm and be a happy camper. Yeah.
Yeah, we had them when I was on the farm. We raised rabbits for food, chickens, and we had, cows as well. The problem I had as a child, I was an empath. I was a sensitive child, and whereas my brother didn't really give a damn about anything in that area because he would get out with my father and they would butcher them with no problem. I couldn't handle, particularly with the rabbits, was that because they always let out this scream.
Right.
And it was like, no, 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 this is wrong. Time out.
Right.
But yeah, and so I'm right there with you on that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
it
Yep. I
just,
love the earth animal energy that's calming. For me, with all the molestations and abuse growing up, I didn't want nothing to do with no predator. And dogs and cats are actually predators.
I could
Yeah.
see that. Someone says they have a duck.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Lost in Space says, I love my pet duck, Henrietta. You
Ducks
know,
are, yep. Yep.
I
Hmm.
think the thing I always, when I think about ducks, Sarah, is I always think about the Peabody Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee,
Yeah.
because at noon they bring the ducks down from their penthouse, and it's amazing. These ducks are trained, or
Right.
they just follow their instincts. Because here they come out of the elevator, they'll without the handler, they'll march right where the fountains are. Yeah, it's quite amazing.
We have the same DNA as animals and plants, so we're all connected that way. And if you actually spread your hands and your toes, you see our pads
Yes,
as
yes, 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 indeed. Yeah.
reptilians or whatever we're carnated, we have pads, pads here and spread your toes. We have pads there too. So, yeah,
Well, simians have that as well.
yeah,
Yeah. And in fact, we are still evolving, these bodies are. We have a number of organs that we don't use anymore. Primarily, you can do without the appendix.
right,
They found that. There is another organ, and I can't think of it right. It's on the tip of I think the liver. And then the little toe is disappearing from the bipedals, us,
right, right.
because we wear shoes
Mm-hmm.
and little
They're bad.
toes don't need them.
Shoes aren't that good for you,
They
they're
cut you off of the earth, but I have to be
yeah,
honest,
you
going
have to have
outside at 9 degrees with barefoot, that's a little more than I can take.
our our bodies actually have to breathe. When we do Tai Chi, we wear silks. We don't wear anything that's close to our body. We wear very breathable material. We don't wear shoes that are tight or anything. Everything's loose. And I actually got so used to wearing silk and my baggy silks that tight clothes and my leggings and jeans just feel too constricting because it closes your chi energy, your cellular energy, and your body can't breathe. So it's better to be all, wear loose, comfy, nylon clothing. Go naked, everybody. Woohoo!
Hey, listen, I'm all about it. I was in the corporate world. I was a CEO, and
Men wear? That's
oh
crazy.
man, I got to tell you what. Now, my wife
And
will tell you I look good in a suit, and
yeah,
I do. But when the change began in me cellularly, and I look back, I know when the change began. It began in 2011, and today I I look back on that life, and I could never go back to it. The idea, and it does. It's amazing what it chokes off and what it represents as well.
that does, Wayne. I don't mean to be,
By choking me? Yes, it does. Go ahead.
I get so excited. So that tie, it closes your throat chakra. It constricts it. When you have something tied up there, that constricts your throat chakra. I prefer a man in a blazer and a nice shirt because that tie thing doesn't work well with me. It looks like a bib, like you're wearing a thin little bib to watch. I think that's what they were originally used for. Is King Arthur would tie around, put it around his neck and use it as a bib, and then they made a wardrobe out of it, is what I heard. Yeah, I think men look handsome that
I think
way,
the
but
Romans actually probably be more appropriate in inventing, because the tie was considered to be a insult of a king that had been conquered, and the conquering emperor would have them tied by the neck as they marched them through the city naked.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you are so spot on, Sarah. I
See
Go ahead.
everything as a weapon. If a man came up, approached me, I'd grab that tie and I could do something to him because I'd just use that and toss him around and choke him out.
Now, Sarah, I would never see that side of you. I'm just kidding, but it's
I'm
true.
not a mean person, but with my training, we were trained to see everything as weapons if we need them for defense, because Chinese martial arts are not the offenders. We're the defenders. We're like back off. So we learn all these blocking techniques and defensive techniques, where the other countries, Korean, Japanese martial arts, they're all the offenders. Hey, let's fight. And we're like trying to stop them all. So
I
when I
bet
say,
dating you would be an interesting experience.
you don't mess with me, nah.
That's what I'm saying.
Actually, I'm a lovey girl. I'm a lovey-dovey.
For some reason, I've got this Seinfeld episode in my hand, and I can just see it. But uh, I think it's great. I think every person should learn how to defend themselves.
right. You know the Avengers movies with the chip?
Yes.
I'm one
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
Yep. Amber is
Isn't
too.
isn't Captain Marvel a woman?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
warrior
Yeah.
goddesses. Yep. And
Yeah.
Nina
Yeah.
too, man. She's my big warrior goddess sister, and Amber and little Jen. We're all little warrior goddesses.
Listen, I know that to be true. I mean, when I see this group, and we have such a beautiful group here, the feminine energy here is very strong. It's very pronounced, but
Right.
it's also wonderfully balanced within the tribe group. I know I've never seen, I've never witnessed any type of what I would call ill energy at all. I haven't seen that.
Well, like attracts like, Wayne. So the frequencies in our group with all these beautiful souls and the personnel, we like attracts like. I mean, you're just this big frequency bulb and we're all attached to you, like, because you're
I
such
just
a
opened the bus door. That's all. They got on by themselves.
you found the right bus to ride on, that's for sure.
That's so true. Ron Weiss says I am a non-sexual nudist. Well, that
Not,
that that I it's fine. I mean, uh
yeah.
having, experienced and spent time in nudist camps and communes where the clothing was most of the time optional. Yeah, it's very freeing and very liberating. For me, it allows the component of the tension to become non-relevant.
Right. Well, your
And
body's filled and it has to breathe. If it gets constricted all the time, that just
mhm.
shuts it in. And when that's why it feels good to be naked and take a shower and be free like that, because that's how we really are supposed to be, really, but we have to wear clothes because we'll see
I
everybody's.
know a number of anthropologists that would agree with you that somehow in this genetic interruption they did with us, when we lost our natural ability to have more hair, and we see that. My background, my ancestors obviously came from, an ancestry group that didn't have much hair. But there are others that you can see where they came, which says that I'm probably more of a star seed than I am of an earth seed. I don't know.
Wayne, you are a
Yes, ma'am.
star seeds are, there's probably about a billion of us on earth, or
Excellent.
billion, yeah, and we're the teachers, we're the leaders, we're the ones with the knowledge and the information. I'm not a book person. I was never trained with books or tests. It was all hands-on, and having the knowledge and learning how to be in source frequency and be able to connect there and be aware of when we're disconnected and to connect back in. And that's the mindfulness training. And the biggest problem that I see with my patients is that and this is really hard to say and really hard to do, is today's society and mentality is with the 3D, the lower consciousness frequencies and people will affect your health and lower your vibration. And so it's really hard to say this, but you have to get away and let go of people in those lower frequencies. You don't have to let them go, but you don't associate with those people and be in their space, because their energy will just break you down. It'll detune your vibe. And it's really hard because I'm here all alone and have basically have you guys like Trina that says the two. It's like I have to be with like-minded people, or those other people just drive me crazy. They just drive you crazy. They'll break you down, and then you got to clear yourself off with sage. So I recommend everybody to always sage yourself when you're around biting people or Christian people or people that break you down. They're not healed. Clear your home and your whole body with sage. And
Sarah, as you're saying that, I'm hearing the Beatles in the background of my head going, "Don't bring me down."
that's right. They would,
Don't bring. Anyway,
the Beatles, the old school musicians, they knew what was going on. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Well, what's happening on the dark side of the moon nowadays? I mean, they knew something.
we
They
when our generation leaves, the boomers, what we gave to the world will never be replicated, because you can see, in my opinion, the degradation of music. It's not rock and roll. And I was trained in the classical sense of music. I played the clarinet, the bassoon, the flute, and the oboe. And I
nice.
love, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I ended up at the Cornish School of Music in Seattle with my piano. My mom.
Excellent. You got, by the way, I can see your fingers. They're very, that's what I look at people. Your fingers are creative fingers. And I could see that. And yeah.
Feel you right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
being a musician myself, people, you can tell on their fingers how
Well,
gifted they are in the arts. Yeah.
I didn't even do my manicure today, but thank you.
Well, I'm an observant type of individual. It's the small things, my dear. But
That's
anyway,
observant, because that means you're aware. You're open. You're open. Your awareness is open. Yep. And that's what we need to have. A lot of people are blocked. So I tell people to cup their eyes. If you take this part of your hand, your chi energy comes from your chi eye. We have chi eyes everywhere where there's a little hole is a portal.
Is that right?
Our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our parts down there. We're all our chakras. Those are our all portals. But right here is a portal, a chi eye. And if you take that and press against here on your eyes and cup your eyes and send energy to and say yourself, I have the knowledge, I have the knowing, I see perfectly, I only see what I need to see and leave the rest behind. And if you say that and cup your eyes, it'll actually help your eyesight as well, too.
Well, that's fantastic. I
like that. So your eyes are back in their sockets, and as we age, they go further, you know, like we lose water and moisture as we age. And so you just fire up those auricular oculi muscles around there and fire them up, and your eyes go, thank you. Yeah, you got to wake it up. Wake them up.
You got to. By the way, Amber, I saw that. She said the show wouldn't be complete without a reference to a song. Amber, it's a full time in me. It's as my wife said, when I pass over, she says, you're taking a jukebox with you that is, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my own. But you're right. I mean, as you were talking, I mean, I know that, for instance, you have a major.
Right there. If you have a headache, all you have to do is pinch right there.
Yep.
It'll relieve your headache. And by the way, music actually raises your vibration, and so does humming. If you hum the vowels, music, especially humming, it'll raise your vibration. So if you just go, you can feel your whole chest and everything vibrating, and that helps your frequency.
Do it in the shower, folks. That's all I got to say.
Hum the vowels in the shower.
Well, I'll tell you what I have found, Sarah, is that I do it as therapy because it regenerates my cells. I speak to my cells every morning because they're constant renewing, and I want to let them know that I love them, and I speak the right vibration. Huh?
That's why I mentioned all that, because I know how you are. You're my we're a lot alike.
And I sing in the shower, and I will do what I call spirit songs. And it's opening what you described. I learned in breathing. I open it so that in my solar plexus, I am taking in the energy in the air. And from that air, I can then put it through the vibration that I speak orally through the portal, which is called my mouth. So
that's yeah.
People don't realize that your mouth is a portal.
It is a portal.
That's why they get themselves in trouble so much.
It's connected to your throat chakra.
Yeah.
It's totally connected here. And so when people are blocked in their throat chakra, Wayne, when I found out with my patients, they withheld something they needed or wanted to say to somebody, and they never released it. And even if they wrote a letter and didn't send it, people hold on to too much. They're afraid to hurt somebody's feelings, or they're afraid of what they might say, but they need to release that, because a lot of people have throat cancers and throat lesions because they hold too much in. They don't talk, they don't speak. And a lot of it's not all women, it's a lot of men too, because men don't share their feelings a lot of times because they're too much in their ego. They need to cry and let it go, let it out, yell, scream. I tell people to get a pillow and just scream and say the F word or whatever you got to do to get that out. Even if you stomp your feet and just shake like that.
I love it. That's good therapy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Just like singing. I mean, you put on a song in the morning, if you get up and put on some happy music, man, it'll just start your day in the right frequency. That's
how we do it here. We don't listen to the news. We don't turn on the outside world. Lynn and I create our inside world, and then we take it to the outside world.
Everybody should have their favorite song and turn that on.
See?
Get out of bed, turn on that song, shake it. and pet your pet and you'll be good to go. You'll have a great day, and then turn on Wayne at noon and everything will go smooth.
Sarah, I love your energy. I have to tell you, when this tribe gets together, and we will, I'm assigning you as for activities director.
Yes.
That's all I've got to say. You have your mission because
I can teach line dancing too. I'm a line dance teacher.
Line dancer, is that right?
We can sing, we can do Tai Chi and Qigong, and we can meditate. And I'll do all of that for all of us. Anytime you just give me a call and we can Zoom in and have a party.
I could see you with a pair of jeans and a pair of cowboy boots and, nice blouse out there. Yeah. I used to be friends with Brooks and Dunn. And
modern burlesque line dancing too. It's not all cowgirl. I'm from Seattle.
Oh, I like that idea. Now, I know exactly what you're talking about in burlesque line dancing. Yeah.
You do modern,
Yeah. Well, there's a whole art to that, as I understand, in the burlesque genre that there's, I think, what is it? The show American Pickers, Danielle. She is a burlesque line dancer.
Well, I actually used that to heal from my molestation.
Did you really?
Yes. How
was that?
I went to my counselor, my spiritual therapist counselor, one like me, sent me to a sexual therapist, and she asked me to be in this burlesque dancing group. And it got me over my fear of my sexual, okay, let me step back. So people tell me men look at me with the drooling tongue, like I have this natural sexual oral about me. So I had to learn that that's not the reason that people are gonna attack me. It's not that. So I was afraid to be feminine and in myself. I started wearing tomboy clothes and just not wanting to be attractive in my own way because I was afraid men were gonna hurt me again. So that brought me out of my shell again to be myself, to be able to show my sexuality and my femininity without being afraid that it's gonna get me attacked. And it never did again. It gave me power. So I got to go out there and shine and be my sexy feminine self with no judgment. And it wasn't, I don't know how to explain it. It just helped me heal from the rape and molestation I had because I was afraid to be that sensual, sexy feminine that I was born to be. Right, girls? Woohoo! So,
thank you, Sarah, for sharing that.
So
it's more of a reality in our culture and our society than what's ever talked about. In fact, it's not talked about. No. I know that there are many women here. I was sexually abused as a child. It happens to
cute little butt, Wayne.
I still got a cute ass, my wife says. So,
that's always get us in trouble, I tell you.
But it's something part of what it's healing, Sarah, because those are so many times like a keloid. It's a scar that becomes inflamed.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes we don't want to talk about this as adults.
Right.
Because it shows vulnerability.
Right.
It shows that, well, I couldn't do anything. I didn't, I wasn't in control. And then for your case, and I have seen this and heard it from other women, they did not want to show their natural beauty, the femininity that they had naturally, that was given by nature.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
and folks, it's something I know it's a heavy subject, but listen, it's part of the healing process.
There was men in our group too. It was that period of my life, Wayne. We did openings for the transvestite shows and stuff. And everybody there had an issue, a rape, a molestation. And we were all entertaining that sexual hot feeling and being able to be in a safe environment to do it. It helped heal the men too.
Yeah, it's true. It tells me something, Sarah, culturally, that we've missed something. I mean, we've had 2,000 years of a certain dogma that has warped society,
right,
warped culture. And here we are, supposedly in the 21st century, enlightened beings, and yet we still struggle with this very thing called sexuality, which shows up in this case because typically, in many cases, we find that there's anger, there's self-hatred issues, and these are passed on then to the next generation going forward.
That's right. And a lot of our problems come through ancestry generations. When I was to get my state board test, become a spiritual therapist, my partner, I had to go 10 generations back to heal her. That's how messed up people can get through generations of the wrong thoughts and the wrong teachings will get passed on. And that somebody in the family's got to stop that curse, because most everybody, if not everybody, has some sort of curse through their ancestry beings through generations that affects their whole life, their mentality, their mind, their spirit, affects their body and everything, you know?
It's so interesting that you bring that up, because one of the things that I do is help people break these generational curses.
Right.
And they're spiritual entities that are attached here.
That's right.
And they literally will follow from one generation. And in fact, anyone who studies eschatology will realize in all religions, family curses are all mentioned in every religion there is, every culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We know the Kennedys. The Kennedys are probably one of the most well known here in America. That curse that was upon Joseph Kennedy, he knew about it, and he did everything he could to prevent it from actually being passed on to the next generation, and he couldn't stop it. John and Robert couldn't stop it all the way, to Robert Jr. Yeah.
Yep. It's nasty stuff. Mm-hmm.
Boy, this has been a deep show. I've really enjoyed this. I don't know if this will pass this may get restricted by YouTube, but those who do listen to it, there's healing here. And Sarah, you don't have a YouTube channel, and I need to put your contact information, but if someone was wanting to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Well, they can go to my email, sarahhorton168@gmail.com, or they can give me a call at 520-491-9520.
Well, you send me that, and I'll put that in the description box. I'm just reading a lot of the comments here. We really touched on some nerves, and I think that this is good. And Ellen says that Sarah is wonderful. She is. I tell you, she has.
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you.
I'm so honored by, number one, just the mastery of the soul tribe here.
Does anyone have any questions for me?
Or? Yeah, does anyone have any questions? Tumbleweed in UK says, I'm a survivor of a satanic ritual abuse, and she said she loves this channel. Someone says we need about another 90 people hit the like button. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Listen, Tumbleweed, this is a place talk to Sarah. Send her an email. This is the kind of thing that she would specialize.
Yeah.
Ellen says, I have never seen you before, Sarah. You're very pretty. Well, yes, she's beautiful. Let's see. So, how much does a healing run, Sarah? That's what Ellen Doyle wants to know.
I will not charge anybody in the soul tribe. I get paid by the universe. So I'm not one that goes out looking for money. The universe will provide me everything I need. So just give me a call. I just want to help.
David Castle says, Sarah Horton is an ass-kicking goddess and her cupcakes are very relaxing.
Right. I didn't have this morning though, but
I love this. Nina the Mystic says she loves you very much. Yes, I tell you, this is why I want more people to come on. Do you work with narcissist survivors, Sarah? ISB 543.
I can handle anything. So anything you want to do. And besides, anything from the minute ago, from the time you were born through other life, it's already gone. Don't even go there. Just everybody's got to let go of the past. Forget it. It was just an experience. Focus on tomorrow. Focus on your future.
I can dig that.
None of that stuff even matters to us anymore. So we got to learn to just, if you call me, we'll talk about it. Just let it go. It was like a battle wound to make you stronger and trigger you for some reason. And you just got to let it go and stay away from narcissistic people, because they hit you pretty hard with energy. So you just got to go clear. Go take a walk. The best advice I have for people that are around negative people is you got to go ground. You got to ground yourself, go outside, take a walk, start tapping, shaking. You got to clear that energy, because people's energies will attack you like a bee sting, and you got to get rid of it.
Love that.
Yeah.
Let's see, is that a picture of Mount Hood behind you?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Another one. Pamela says, you're a beautiful person. I love your energy. Bree says, great energy on the show today, Wayne. Love Sarah.
Give me a call if you need some energy, and I'll just get you.
I think she could. And that's right, Ellen. She doesn't have a YouTube page, which is, it says a lot. I like that. I mean, but if you ever put one up, I think you'd be fabulous.
Well, thank you.
You ought to think about that.
I've been to have one by many people.
How did Mossy Man says, how did you overcome the Christian past? Mossy Man, how I did that is, it's amazing. It started when I found out that the name of Jesus didn't exist back in the turn of the century, at the beginning of the modern era. And then I began to do the background check. And the problem was, I realized all my years at Bible school and in the ministry had been basically a deception. Because here's the challenge, Moss, I won't spend much time on it, but here's the deal. Is the Christian God the New Testament God, or is the New Testament God the Old Testament God? Because if it's the Old Testament, then 2 Corinthians 13, 4-8 is a lie. Anyway, so Sarah, I'll just move on.
Got it, Wayne.
Yeah, listen, and it's a challenge for a lot of people. I mean, it's really you have to deprogram yourself. And, the tendrils, Sarah, they show up it's like a garden. If you don't constantly weed it out,
right,
the weeds will take over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The best God in the universe is nature.
Oof.
Yep.
Bam, baby. Boom.
Go pray. Go take a walk and talk to a tree. Hug a tree. Talk to the sky. Talk to the fairies and all the Pleiadians and all the good ETs up there that are helping us and enlightening us. So, my biggest thing I want to say to everybody is to keep an open mind and a loving heart. Though That is my motive, is that you have to have an open mind and a loving heart. And just let go of any fear and anger and all those emotions. You got to stop being in those frequencies. Turn the dial. Whoop, turn on your favorite song. Every time you get mad, change the tune. You can do it in the snap of your fingers. Get out of that realm and get into a higher self, and let that lower self go. Just toss it.
Well,
Bye-bye.
I love it. And as they used to say in those Pentecostals, I ain't shouting you down because you're preaching good. Well, Sarah, our time has gone like that, baby. Thank you, Carol. We do share lots of smiles here and lots of love. Sarah, people just love you. Now that they're going to see you in the chat room again, now they're going to be able to associate this wonderful energy with this wonderful essence you bring.
I want to help anybody that needs I love helping people. And I want to set your intentions to loving yourself and forgiving yourself. And don't forget, I'm sorry, I love you, forgive me. Those are magical things. Yep.
It's magic. It is. Yeah.
Yep. The magic is in frequency of happiness. If you want to be sad and depressed, be sad, be angry, be negative. That'll just get you the disease and in the hospital. If you stay happy and in your higher self, you'll never get sick and you'll die peacefully in your sleep.
And as the song goes, boom, I got the power. All right, everybody. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Sarah. Send me that information. We'll get it in there. Thank you, Soul Tribe. Y'all are the most grooviest people out there. Look at Sarah. She came from the Soul Tribe. And love to have you on if you want to come on. Sarah came on.
Anytime you want to have me back, I'm more than happy.
I am gonna have you back. I'm gonna have you on with a panel. I want to put you, Kaz, Trina, Amber, and Jennifer, and probably get Nina in there as well. Nina has a show over on Facebook, I think. So check it out over there. Love to everyone. Sarah, stay with me. We will see you all tomorrow. All right.